London has the highest rate of child poverty in England. Over 700,000 children in London are living in poverty. That's well over a third of all the children in the capital. Just think about that. Most experts agree that scrapping the two-child benefit limit would make the biggest difference.
We think the two-child benefit cap is singularly probably one of the most damaging policies especially for children and families. It's causing untold misery. It's an immoral policy because children are the victims of this policy. A third child in no way should be punished because they were born. And that's essentially what this policy does.
So what is the two-child benefit cap?
The two-child limit on benefits was introduced in 2017 and means that anyone with a larger family does not receive child tax credit or universal credit for a third or subsequent children born after the policy was brought in.
So what impact is this policy having on families? Listen to Sarah Ogilvie, Director of Policy at Child Poverty Action Group.
I mean, what it does for families is drive them into poverty, or it holds them deep in poverty. What that means is that families can't afford everything that they need, so they can't afford maybe food, maybe it's heating, maybe it's buying your kid a Christmas present, or as the winter gets a bit colder, buying them a coat or a jacket. It just makes life really, really difficult for families. And as we heard, the only reason for that is because a kid has got a brother and or a sister. It's not because of need or any other reason. It's really arbitrary, and frankly, it's quite cruel.
A major new academic study into the effects of the two-child cap has concluded the policy has been a poverty-producing initiative over the past 6 years, which has caused hardship and anxiety to tens of thousands of low-income families. More than 50 organisations have called for the policy to be abolished, including the Church of England, the TUC, the Children's Society and the Joseph Rowntree Foundation. So what will Labour's position be on this policy, condemned as cruel, immoral and heinous if elected? In December 2020, in response to an article which appeared in The Guardian that the two-child benefit cap was influencing women's decisions on abortion, Angela Rayner, now deputy leader of the Labour Party, tweeted this: "The obscene and inhumane two-child cap must go." Just last month, the Mirror was reporting that the Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary had signalled the end to the heinous two-child benefit cap if Labour wins power. The Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary, Jonathan Ashworth, said the policy devised by austerity Chancellor George Osborne is absolutely keeping children in poverty. In an interview with the Mirror, Mr Ashworth said the former Conservative Welfare Minister David Freud described this as a vicious policy. He was absolutely correct to describe it as a vicious policy. Taking to Twitter in February 2020, Keir Starmer said this: "Another future is possible, but we have to fight for it. Here are my ideas for how we can tackle the vast social injustice in our country." And one of those ideas was this: we must scrap the two-child limit. So Labour's position appears pretty clear, or is it?
So let's have a think then about a few specific things that Labour government you want to form would do. If you have more than 2 children at the moment, you don't get benefits. Would that change under a Labour government?
We're not changing that policy.
You're not.
It's absolutely shocking. It's just not good enough.
This is another U-turn, isn't it? And it's something that really could ease the cost of living crisis for thousands of families. Why has he changed his mind?
Well, that's a good question, because abolishing the cap would lift 250,000 children out of poverty. 250,000. And a further 850,000 children would be in less deep poverty. If elected, Labour need to step up and abolish this.